What's up, guys? Welcome back. Glad you're here. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at the newest release from the David Blaine collection. That's right, it's a new but not so new release at the same time. What deck is it? We're talking about the new gold edition of the Split Spades. That's right, buckle in your seatbelts, because we're going there. Let's go. David Blaine Gold Edition is the newest of the Split Spades series by David Blaine. This time around, this deck is printed by the United States Playing Card Company and not Expert. The last two releases, the Stoics and the Private Reserve Skull and Crossbones, were printed by Expert instead. This deck is now under an illustrious gold metalLuxe foil, as you can see here on the tuck case. It is all embossed, and it says the word Split Spades with the logo underneath, and it says playing cards with the lion above it, and the words Gold Edition. The left side of the tuck case says official Split Spades playing cards in gold, while the right side says the United States Playing Card Company. The bottom of the tuck case has a little bit of ad copy distributed by Split Spades New York, 10013. The top of the tuck case says Split Spades in a gold foil that matches the whole theme of the deck, and it is embossed as well. The inside of the tuck flap, there is actually two reveals. One here underneath this bird, which is the 8 of Diamonds card reveal. And if you look very close on the inner flaps there on the left and the right, you'll see a 6 of Hearts card reveal as well. The back design of the deck on the tuck is the back design of the cards themselves. It is still pretty much intact to the Split Spades design that we all know and love from Blaine. There is a couple subtle differences on the back design as well as the deck itself. The first noticeable change is the gold metalLuxe foil that we see here, making this the gold edition it says on the front. The other change is, of course, the borders, which it is not a solid line border and definitely thicker than the previous versions before it as well. This deck does come in a mnemonic stack, and if you're not familiar, I will leave links below for Juan Tamariz. He is very much expert at the art of mnemonic stack. And this deck does come printed by the United States Playing Card Company on their crushed B stock. It does have a traditional cut and an air cushion emboss. With this deck, you're going to receive 4 extra cards other than the deck itself. The first one is going to be the first Joker, which is these 2 angels standing on one of the cards, fighting what looks like to be over a hourglass. The next card is going to be this frog wearing human's clothing and holding a needle, sewing up what looks like to be maybe skin, with a fish underneath in between his legs holding what looks like to be a key. The next card is going to look very familiar, as it is with a lot of the other Split Spades decks. And the last card looks to be a duplicate King of Spades, but I assure you it's not. This is more so an ad card than anything, with the features from the sword missing with no details. And on the left it has David's Instagram handle at David Blaine, and the right side is davidblaine.com. This deck does come with standard pips and indices, as well as court cards for the most part, which we'll get to in a moment. There are custom courts as well as standard courts. They used a lot of metallic inks as far as the back design with the Lux gold foil, and on the inside, as you see here, with the use of, in the quartz, using the gold metallic inks as well as the red metallic inks. This deck is great still, no matter what, for gameplay, magic, and cardistry. As far as the court cards, like I said, there are some standard and some custom, David Blaine being the king of spades like always in all of his decks. Like I said, you can still see the use of the gold and red metallic inks making this deck pop out in a lot of different ways. The rest of the court cards that are not standard fill up the spaces by a lot of friends, famous magicians, and colleagues. The aces in this deck are your standard USPCC aces as well until you get to the ace of spades. The ace of spades is a huge and large spade pip in gold metallic inks with a lot of cool flourishes and stuff on the inside. And it's going to have the lady on the inside in the nude looking like she's dancing in the center. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on this deck? I give it a 4 out of 5. You know, it's an iconic deck as it is as far as the David Blaine collections go. You know, you got the split spades, you got the black lions, the white lions, you know, and it goes on, of course. But my biggest thing was, like I said, you know, I give it a 4 out of 5 because everything pretty much was on par to the deck itself. The finish, the feel, the look, the whole aesthetic of the deck. The only downfalls for me were the fact that, you know, the jokers kind of didn't really hit home with me. Being a magician, it was kind of like, I don't know, it was just a little weird. And like I said, that, you know, that duplicate King of Spades, that wasn't really a duplicate. You know, it's just an ad card that's pretty much on steroids. I didn't really like that. So that was the two biggest misconceptions for me. So yeah, I mean, but other than that, it's a great deck of cards. I mean, even at its price point, not bad. You know, $15 when it did release on Black Friday this past year. But, you know, $20 now, and I'm sure it's going to be selling out fast. I do know that the Skull and Crossbones Private Reserves I just reviewed not too long ago did sell out on Black Friday because, you know, he had great deals on that site. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about this deck. So, yeah. So, that's all I'm going to say about that today. If you guys enjoyed this review as much as I enjoyed doing it for you, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you beautiful people on the next one.